Welcome back to Sportsbook Review Videos. It's week 11, and it is once again time for me to release my team and player prop picks from Bet365 Sportsbook. Already giving you my team prop picks. Here is a look at three player prop picks, a rush receiving and passing prop that I think hold a lot of value here for the week number 11 Sunday afternoon and evening games. We'll start it off with Frank Gore of the Indianapolis Colts with a rushing yards total of 70.5 on the road in Atlanta this week. And I think the under could be a very good play. Now, despite the fact that Frank Gore has been getting a ton of volume over the last 2 weeks, he's seen 50 carries on the last two games here, but only averaging 3.1 yards per carry during that time. And against the Falcons team that's run defense has been a little bit better this season, especially in a game with Matt Hasselbeck starting. I think the Colts could find themselves behind very easily this week. And even though it may seem like they may want to run the ball a little bit more, that plays right into the hands of the Falcons, I think, who will be daring them to throw the ball with Hasselbeck this week. I do like the under here with Frank Gore at 70.5 at minus 125. I think it's definitely a good way to start off our player prop picks this week. Now, next up, in that same game is Matt Ryan, who has an over-under of 294.5 for his passing yards this week. And even though at home he has not necessarily been as good passing the ball as on the road, he did dot 397 passing yards on the Tampa Bay Bucks his last home game, and at 294.5 this week, I think the over could be a really good play as well. Colts have a bottom third in passing defense so far this season. The Falcons really need a win here to keep pace in the NFC playoff race as well. In his last two games, Matt Ryan's thrown the ball for 700 yards and is still averaging over 300 yards per game in passing yards at home this season. So I think the over here, really good play at 294.5. Take that here for your second player prop pick. Now finally, Jarvis Landry of the Miami Dolphins is playing the Dallas Cowboys this week in a game that could be a shootout as well because Tony Romo will be making his return. And Landry has an over and under for receiving yards at 65.5, and I also like the over on this one as well. Nice value on the NFL odds as well at minus 110 for this one. Dallas also in the lower third in the league in passing defense this week. And with Romo coming back, that's going to force Tannehill and the Dolphins to throw a little bit more as well. Could be a shootout like I mentioned. And Jarvis Landry also 24 targets in his last two games. They're definitely starting to pepper him with targets. If that's the case, 65.5 should be an easy one to go over. He's gone over that number 3 of his last 4 games. Just missed it last week, which is why I think we're getting some of this value here this week. So take the over with Landry. Add him to your NFL picks as well. And that'll do it for my player prop picks. Like I mentioned, make sure you check out the team props as well for week 11. But until then, for Sportsbook Review, I'm Jordan Sharp.